Operating systems. Operating systems allows the end user, which is the person using the computer, to communicate and interact with the computer. As you type the commands in or click the commands on the different options of the operating system, the operating system communicates with the hardware of the computer to perform the desired results. So whenever you're typing in words, or you're changing a program, or you're telling the computer to save a file this way with this name, the operating system is sending the instructions to the hardware of the computer to get this done. There are different operating systems out there, but currently Microsoft has the largest market share of operating systems. Other well-known operating systems include Mac, Macintosh operating system, also referred to as Apple, and the Linux operating system. But out of all those, right now Microsoft Windows has the largest share. Most organizations, most computers that people have at home, most of them are Windows. Every computer must have an operating system. So let's say you build your own computer, you get your CPU, your processor, your memory, your hard drive, your power supply unit, you put everything in a case. Yes, you have a computer built, but you need software on that computer to tell the hardware what to do. And that software is the operating system. That's why every computer must have an operating system to be functional. And even servers have operating systems. You have operating systems designed just for servers. For example, Microsoft use Microsoft Windows Server software. When choosing what type of operating system you want, you have to choose whether you want 32-bit or 64-bit. Most majority of computers these days are 64-bit computers. A lot of times when you buy a computer, you have the option, the default option most of the time is 64-bit. But there are still some applications out there that are not compatible with 64-bit operating systems. So those applications has to run on a 32-bit version of Windows. 32-bit versions of Windows has a limitation. It cannot recognize anything over 4 gigabytes. So let's say if you install 16 gigabytes of memory on a computer that's running a 32-bit Windows operating system, anything over 4 gigs, that operating system isn't going to be able to recognize it, and it won't be able to do anything. So you pretty much will be wasting resources. 64-bit Windows operating system, they're more powerful. With a Windows 10 operating system, you can have up to 6 terabytes of RAM installed, but most people are not going to have 6 terabytes of RAM, or either 1 terabyte of RAM installed on their desktop. So you'll be pretty good at maxing out a 64-bit Windows operating system to the desired amount of RAM you want to put into it. Um, Sometimes when you're looking at Windows operating system or software, you might see 32-bit Windows, and in parentheses you'll see 86, and for 64-bit Windows parentheses you'll see 64. So if you see something that says 86 operating system or 86 program, most likely they are referring to 32-bit Windows. And I imagine sometime in the near future, yeah, we won't even really be seeing 32-bit Windows operating system. as an option. Like I said, these days the default most time when you buy a computer is going to be 64-bit Windows operating system. So when you do get ready to install an operating system, or if you decide that you want to upgrade your operating system, it's good to do some research to see what version of Windows 10 will be good for you. So Windows 10 has Home, Pro, Enterprise, and Education. When Windows 11 comes out, it will have the same thing. Um, you'll have the option of a Home, Pro, Enterprise, and Education version. On the World Wide Web, on the internet, you can find different documentation telling you what's the features and what's the limitation of each operating system. The Microsoft website is a good place to go if you're thinking of purchasing a new operating system and you want to know whether you need the Home, Pro, Enterprise, or Education version. Education version is pretty much used in the education sector, higher ed, K-12. Enterprise, that's going to be used to like your large organizations and large businesses. Pro, you'll also see Pro in businesses as well. Most time you probably see Pro in small businesses. You'll see some power home users using Pro as well. People who just need a basic operating system, a lot of times they'll be good with just a version of home. And when you go to Best Buy, Walmart, a lot of times when you pick out a system, most times they're going to be home. But you can also purchase a system with Pro as well. And sometimes you also have the option of purchasing with Enterprise. But most of the ones I see usually have the option of Home and Pro. Enterprise and Education, most time I see those in your larger organizations. So there's also a special version of Windows Enterprise called Long Term Servicing Channel, LTSC for short. Long Term Servicing Channel version of Windows Enterprise is used for computers that has a special function, such as like if you go shopping and you see a kiosk, medical equipment, cash registers, your point of sale devices, devices that run digital signs, classroom labs, special equipment in the military. It's pretty much our computers that are not used for general use. It wouldn't be a workstation computer that somebody gets on and use every day. It's going to be computers designed for special functions. With the long-term servicing channel, they don't get the future updates that come out every 6 months. They get security updates, but they don't get all the future updates. For one, a lot of the specialized use of these computers, they don't need those extra updates. And two, because a lot of times these computers have special and important functions, you want to minimize the risk of upgrading it and pushing out updates to it all the time for things they really don't need. So let's say, for example, you have an update that allows you to do different things with the Edge browser, or it's an update that improve functionality for, let's say, it might improve the functionality of the keyboard or the mouse. Well, if it's a point of sale device that an employee is pretty much using it for transactions to check people out and to do refunds in the store, well, they're not going to be using the browser. They need just basic functionality. They don't need to risk upgrading the point of sale device. Something goes wrong, the cash register is down. They, at the minimum, they only need the security updates that are coming out to keep the system secure. And most people in this class, you probably won't ever really deal with anything long term service channel, unless you're involved with specialized equipment, or if you're involved with maybe supporting a classroom computer lab at, at a school. Windows updates. So after you install Windows operating system, the first one of the first things that should be done is checking to see if there are any updated Windows update that the computer need. You should also turn on Windows updates so that the device is automatically update. Some people they don't like for their machine to be automatically updated because sometimes when updates are pushed out, sometimes there are bad updates that can cause issues with the computer. But a lot of times when a bad update comes, you can roll back and go back to the state of the computer where it was before the Windows update came. The good and the best reason to have Windows update set to automatically update is because a lot of times, if it's not automatically set, most people will not remember to go in on a regular basis to check for updates. So Windows updates, a lot of times it's updates that's going to fix some bugs in the software. Also, there's been any issues that Microsoft has developed and discovered, they'll go through and push out the updates via Windows updates to fix the issue. Also, security updates. Whenever security flaws come up and security flaws are discovered, when a fix come out for it, they'll push that fix out via Windows Update. And future updates. Your future updates is going to be the updates to the operating system that add new features, add things that should be a benefit to the user, add more functionality. So those things will come out in the future updates. And Microsoft usually do their large future updates every 6 months.